Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2021, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Thursday Club video. We're going to look back at Tuesday night's 1-0 win at the Den against Reading, and we're going to look ahead to Saturday. We're at the Den once again before the international break against Wayne Rooney's Derby County. But as always, let's wind it back to Tuesday and start out with a starting 11 that Gary Rowett did pick to start the match. Okay, so changes were made from the horrendous time in my life, which was Huddersfield away last Saturday. Another 750 Millwall fans suffered one of the worst Millwall performances I've ever seen. Nothing in the game positive to talk about, other than I quite like the blue shorts with the blue shirts and the white socks. I think that looks better than the white shirt, the white shorts. But anyway, that's how bad it was. That's the only positive I could take from the game. Another maybe slight positive you can take is, I said this before, when it's that bad, he's forced to change it. He did play three at the back away, of course. He always will, by the way, and he will go back to that, I suspect, after the international break, away from home. But he did change the formation. He did start out with four at the back against Reading. It does seem like, hopefully, he's now finally woke up and smelt the copy. I don't really mind if he plays three at the back or four at the back at home. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is when you've got two wide wing backs, when you've got one up front with two wide men, and then only two in the central midfield. As I said, I don't feel there's a real core down the middle of our pitch. And he changed it. This was the team. It was an exciting one, in my opinion. It was Bartosz Bartkowski in goal. Daniel Ballard injured. We went to a flat back four. Ryan Leonard right back. Murray Wallace come in at left back. Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper were the central defence pairing. Then it was Billy Mitchell, Mikael Kieftenbeld and George Saville as a central midfield three, which left Jed Wallace wide right. Benik Afobe come in for Shea Ojo wide left, and Matt Smith come in for Tom Bradshaw as a central striker. Look, love the three in the midfield. It's got to be that three in the midfield, and I feel that Kieftenbeld had to go for us, obviously, because he just rattles people and gets booked, but I knew he was out there. He was finding a lot of space on the ball in the first half, and also I think that's because we had the three-man central midfield, Billy Mitchell buzzing all over the place, superb in the second half, and Saville, it allows him to press high in an attacking sense, but I felt what Saville also did with two central midfielders behind him was press high in a defensive sense, like he did a lot of the time with Lee Gregory and Steve Morrison back under Neil Harris, where teams would get goal kicks, those two would split right and left, and George Saville would press high right in the middle of the pitch. So I do like him arriving late and scoring goals and giving us that element of his game, but he pressed high in a defensive sense as well, winning balls back high, winning balls out wide, closing fullbacks down, and not giving Reading in the early stages of the first half a lot of time on the ball. I still think that if you're going to play Smith or you're going to play Bradshaw, you've got to play Smith and Bradshaw as essential two strikers. They complement each other well with their contrasting styles. And I don't think that one down the middle with two wide men still works. Benik Afobe come in, grafts, Shea Ojo isn't looking like the most fantastic asset to Liverpool Football Club at the minute, in my opinion. He was taken off at half-time against Huddersfield and he didn't start the game. So I was happy with it. I was happy with that formation, really. It's the three in midfield is the key for me. Three at the back, four at the back, not so worried. One up top, two wide men, not too happy with that. I'd rather have two central men. But the three in the midfield is absolutely key. And I felt we started the game well. Early chances, working their goalkeeper. Jed Wallace free kick, brilliantly saved by their goalkeeper over the bar. Jed slots in another one for Benik Afobe, makes a good run. Their goalkeeper comes out, gets a block on it. We slung plenty of good crosses into the box. Their goalkeeper come out and took a few of them. Some of them were well defended. Another instance I remember a lot was coming down our right and we was knocking different kinds of balls. We wasn't going long, even though we had Smith on the pitch. Weirdly, it seems to me, we go longer more when Bradshaw's on the pitch and not Smith. When Smith comes on the pitch, we seem to change it and go less direct, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I thought we was knocking the ball on the floor. I thought we enjoyed some good possession in the early exchanges, knocking the ball nicely, players moving off the ball well, little three-man patterns of play. Quite a basic pattern of play, which I used to use when I was coaching my boys' team, but I could see we was using it with Kieftenbeld, Leonard, and Jeb Wallace, and then Afobe running off the ball as a fourth man. You using that plenty in the first half, and we was finding gaps in between fullbacks and centre-halves. So, when we went in at half-time, I was very surprised by the booing, if I'm honest. I'm always Rowett's biggest critic, if I need to be. As I said, and some people might think, well, he praises us when he's good, and he hammers us, you know, one week and not the next. There doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground with us. We're either really good or really shit. So, if we have an average game middle of the road, I'll say that, but for me it's either very acceptable or completely unacceptable at points under Gary Rowett. And as I said, I feel that the three in the midfield was the key. I feel that he's learning, still on the job, which you always do as a manager, and we are improving ever so slightly. It's just a consistency thing with us as well, but we've definitely got the players to do it, and I think the players would have been, you know, more interested in the game and been more confident and happy playing in this, you know, this formation with a little bit more freedom. So as I said, the boos really surprised me at half-time. Really surprised me. I didn't feel it was warranted at all. Someone said to me, or a couple of people said to me, and again, this is football, this is opinions, that they played us off the park in the first half. I didn't see that. Maybe, you know, that's my opinion. I did see them have quite lengthy periods of play in the second half of the first half, but they didn't ever look like interested or wanting to be an attacking threat in the game. They was time wasted at 0-0. There was time wasted in the first half. So again, that's not a discredit to Rowett and the team. You can only beat what's put in front of you, but when a team's not interested in crossing the halfway line and sitting, it makes it even harder to break them down. So at half-time, I was happy with the first half, you know, as a whole. Thought we played well, worked their goalkeeper, a little bit of excitement to fucking cheer about and get off your seat. But the boos rang out, and I don't know whether Rowett reacted to the boos with his double substitution, or he thought the same, that it wasn't up to scratch. I suppose we'll never know, but he takes off Kieftenbeld, who was on a booking, and brings on Mason Bennett, and he takes off Matt Smith, and Scott Malone came on to replace him. It wasn't working for Smith, and I said this to my mate on the phone yesterday. Smith's a very one-dimensional player, as we know, and he is effective for us. Maybe as an impact sub, but if you notice Nottingham Forest, he always does the business against Nottingham Forest, Smith. Scored there this season, hat-trick there a couple of years ago during lockdown, just before lockdown. Of course, it was the last game before we went into the lockdown. I think it was March 2019, was it? 20, whatever it was. It was a lifetime ago, but he does the business against Nottingham Forest. So whoever plays like Nottingham Forest, play Matt Smith against them. But if it doesn't work out for him in his aerial / physical battle, then he is null and void in the game, and he was removed. And then the second half, again, slow start. After that, pretty much one-way traffic. Mason Bennett, again, we changed the formation up. I'll be honest, one of the games going on, I'm not the best at going right. The formation is now this, that, or the other, but credit to Rowett, whatever the formation was, Mason Bennett was playing central, dropping deep, receiving the ball, and driving at the back four or back three, whatever Reading had. And I thought we looked really good in the second half. As it went on, we just... Look, Rowett's gone out to win that game. Especially after half-time. You can't say it wasn't positive. He never makes double substitutions, especially at half-time. So, I don't know what went on in that dressing room. I'd like to have known. Because, of course, after the game, Rowett didn't do the after-match interview, did he? He sent his assistant, Adam Barrett, out to do that job. So, really good second half. Can't fault it. And again, look, it wasn't spectacular, was it? It wasn't spectacular. It's not a game you'll remember in years to come. But the players give it their everything. Rowett went out to try and win the game. There was entertainment. There was a goal. Tackles were flying in. Once we had the lead, we did everything we could to protect it, and that's all we asked for. That's all. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. That's all we asked for. The goal was a very good goal. Great clip from Jeb Wallace. Ryan Leonard in behind. Square for Afobe, who'd missed a bit of a gilt-edged chance in the first half, which he ballooned over the bar. And Bennett gets his third goal of the season. After that, Reading, you know, they often puffed a bit in the last 10, but very rarely did they threaten us, and it was a quiet night for the big dog between the sticks. And it's 3 points, and I'm thinking to myself, does Rowett listen to the boos and people like me and other fan outlets and think, shut up, you fucking idiots? What do you actually know? Because we are now in the top 10. I think we're joint 6th or 5th on points, and a win against Derby really is going to put us in the mix. Do we demand too much as Millwall fans? Well, I said in my full-time reaction that you've got to demand the best to get the maximum out of something. If we was, for example, my mate used to play for Fulham, and he said I fucking loved it because they didn't care whether we went up, down or sideways. They wanted to turn up, fucking drink their latte and fucking swing their rattle, and that was them as a club happy. Even if they got relegated from the Premier League, there never absolutely any fan pressure, and they loved it. there is that intensity at Millwall for the players to feel and for Rowett to feel. And if we're on their bollocks, you'll get more out of people. You know, you'll keep them on their toes, so to speak. So it is what it is, and Rowett would have known what that pressure was and the sort of fan base we are coming into the job. He did mention that when he got the job. You know, he's been here a few times as Derby manager, and coming back now, you know, he's ready to have our fans on board. And of course, on Saturday, he will have our fans on board against his former club, Derby County. Let's move on to Saturday. They are, of course, managed by ex-England, Manchester United and OAP Lothario legend, Wayne Rooney. Of course, they are rock bottom of the table on 5 points, having had 12 points deducted. They'd still only be sitting, I checked it out, about 20th place, where currently Peterborough sit without that points deduction. And they are a club in turmoil. They are struggling. They are without a win in their last 6 games, drawing 4 of those and losing 2 in a row, including last night's 2-1 defeat away at Barnsley. And I don't think Barnsley have won since the old king died. So they will be coming to the Den with not a lot of confidence. Can we make it 2 wins on the bounce at home and produce our way towards the top 6? So this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. I said we was going to win at Huddersfield and we lost. I said we was going to draw 0-0 against Reading and we won. So probably don't take a lot of notice of my predictions, but I'm going for another win. I'm going for another 1-0 win. Boring Millwall, like Arsenal of the late 80s and early 90s. I'm confident and I'm smiling again now, but that could change in an instant. And look, after Tuesday's game, you know, a few people said to me, you look so happy in your full-time reaction. I am easily pleased, believe it or not. And yes, I had a fantastic time on Tuesday night. Yes, that rolled into 4 AM. Should I have gone home at 4 AM? Yes, I probably should have, but I didn't. Was I too hungover to produce a video yesterday? Absolutely. But I don't care. I'll do it all again Saturday if we can get the 3 points against Derby at the Den and head towards the playoffs. So that is your lot for this Thursday Club. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've not done a Thursday Club for a while, so a little bit of a longer one. Please be sure to check out the fan score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV that will go out, and possibly Gail, if I can get Georgia to do one as well, tomorrow at 4 PM. I'll be live streaming from the Den Saturday, of course, and then it's the international break. The Anton Rogan lockdown interview is a long one. Them Irish boys love to talk, so that will be out during the international break. I've also got Alex Ray lined up during the international break. I've also got Aidan Davison lined up, and I can't seem to say international break properly, but I'll see you at the Den Saturday if you're going. Hopefully back-to-back wins, and as I said, a push into that top 6. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.